we move on to react to some of the top headlines going on in the soccer world. We didn't get to discuss this much on the previous edition of the top headlines, but really surprising news. Virgil van Dijk, he is in talks with Liverpool over a new deal. He has opened talks with the club regarding a new deal. He's been at Liverpool since January 2018, and his current contract does run out at the end of the season. And Virgil van Dijk, he came out and says, discussions are ongoing. We will see what happens in the future. My full focus is on Liverpool wanting to win games that are ahead of me and nothing else. What the future will bring, I have no idea at the moment. I can only tell you that discussions have started and we will see. So there's a willingness from both sides. Well, obviously there's a willingness from Liverpool there, but there's a willingness from Virgil van Dijk, from what it seems like here, to stay at Liverpool. So, wow, that'd be great. That'd be very vital for Liverpool to keep Virgil van Dijk. There's also Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mohamed Salah, who are also due to be out of contract, and there still has been no updates on their situation. It remains to be seen how it goes for there. We know Van Dijk, he is that leader, and one would argue he's probably the most important player to keep. I don't necessarily agree with that when you look at all the outside factors of losing a player that came up the ranks in Trent Alexander-Arnold that has the quality that he has, and on top of that, losing him in all likelihood or not, losing him to Real Madrid, a team that's been your nemesis in the Champions League, that's gotten the best of you year in and year out in the Champions League. It's just a hard pill to swallow if you're a Liverpool fan. It would be an absolutely devastating blow. So yeah. Rafinha, he came out after the game saying the Bayern rout was a revenge for the fans. We know they played that 8-2 ridiculous game a few years ago. And then last season, Bayern Munich took advantage of Barcelona a few times as well. Or I believe now it's 2 seasons ago, actually. Or was it last season? Whatever. It don't matter. La Liga, they're also continuing to work on trying to stage a Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid La Liga game on the third weekend of December. They're continuing to work on trying to stage a Barcelona home fixture against Atletico Madrid in Miami on the third weekend in December. But there's still several things that need to fall in place for the plan to go ahead. The Spanish league, they've been working on trying to get a La Liga game in the U.S. for a long time, but there have been opposition from a lot of different organizations: the RFEF, the Royal Federation of Espanol Football, the Spanish Football Federation, FIFA, and even U.S. Soccer has came out in opposition against it. There's sources that say some of those issues are starting to get settled, and that there's a real potential of this Barcelona against Atletico Madrid game happening at the Hard Rock Stadium. Relevant Sports Group, who are working on this project with La Liga, did not make any comments, but it seems like this is a real possibility. Now, there is some logistical factors to keep in mind. The Miami Dolphins are set to host the 49ers at a Hard Rock Stadium on December 22. La Liga president Javier Tebas has spoken many times about his desire to play a regular season game abroad. But yeah, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, these are two teams that have been involved in previous talks to take a game overseas, specifically to the United States. It was Barcelona. Barcelona was rumored to be involved in a game against Girona, which didn't go through. The other was Atletico Madrid with Villarreal, which didn't end up happening. It remains to be seen if this happens. I think it will be interesting. UEFA, who governs European football, would have to also give a green light to the plan. A spokesman for the UEFA body said UEFA has not been approached regarding this matter. The process to follow in such cases is to have an agreement from the clubs, the RFEF, which is the Spanish Football Federation, U.S. Soccer, CONCACAF, and only then from UEFA. So there's a lot of things that needs to happen. My personal opinion, you look at it, I understand why Spanish fans would be pissed off about that or angry about it, for a better word choice there. I do think there is the thing though, when you look at the NFL, they've been able to make the game more worldwide with playing games overseas. When it comes to football, football is a relatively new and young sport in America. And most of the football fans here are number one casual fans, fans that don't really know much. And the casual fans know two things, sometimes maybe three. They know the World Cup, because everybody knows the World Cup. I'm talking about the casual fans here. They know the World Cup, and then they know the Premier League. There's some also a minority that might, the casual fans that might know about the Champions League. But most casual fans here, they don't know the whole concept of the domestic leagues. They don't know La Liga. They don't know that's the domestic league for Spain. They see Barcelona and Spain play against each other, El Clasico, and they'll tune in and watch that game, but they won't even know what league this game is happening in. They just watch the game for the sake of watching the game. They don't know much. I think you play a La Liga game here, you're growing the league here, you're growing the sport here, and it's a real opportunity for marketing and investment that La Liga could only benefit off of. So, I think there is some incentives there, but again, it's the age-old dilemma. Should a game between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, or should any game between two cities and one, over there, a game in La Liga, that's the Spanish league, should a game that should be played in Spain, should that be played overseas? It's the big dilemma. You have that all the time. But, I don't know, it's interesting, definitely. It's an interesting concept, and it's something I've enjoyed debating with my peers in the past. Thank you guys, though, for tuning into the GSMC Soccer Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. So thank you once again, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet.